Hi you guys, it's me Eugene. So I'm just trying to do it on my laptop instead. Maybe it'll be better, but I'll keep that video where I talked and gave my heart out to you all, okay? So today's going to be a poetry reading. So I'm going to read every poem that I've ever written, just like I like to do that because I want you all to learn how to do poetry. I mean, my poetry is not like I never knew the concept of like meter. Like I do have meters sometimes in my poems, but it's hard to do like the iambic pentameter or whatever because like when you think of like stressed and unstressed, I know it's like usually the strong uppercase sound or whatever, like I A E I O U. That's definitely stress, but also stress could be a lowercase sound. It depends always. Like Blaeng-kette, like Blaeng-kette, ket is not an uppercase sound. It's e. It's a lowercase e. But Blaeng-kette, Blaeng-kette. That's the like with the word blanket. Blaeng-kette, the ket is that syllable is the stress. So like I know like where it's stressed or where it's unstressed, but like in my poems I don't really keep track of that much. I like to do rhyming though. I like to do rhyming with my poems. So let's start. I don't always do rhyming though, but usually I do. So light this is called Light Lapse. This is published in Ursa Major. This was published in one of the editions of Ursa Major Literary Magazine from my high school, which is under the direction and supervision of Mrs. Dowling. Light Lapse. It forms a spiral digging deeper and deeper. It journeys past birthdays and holidays. It slides past failed tests and quizzes. It flutters, reaching the ecstasy of a moment, the dream of a lifetime. It is light. It offers a helping hand when all is lost and life slips you by. It is sand. It drifts down an hourglass, ticking, talking, all the years spent frolicking, through life, through air, through the years of care. It is the memory. The light may dim, its glowing aura but a wisp, enveloped by darkness. Despite it all, a faint, still presence beckons it forthright. You call and it wanders off, a spiral digging deeper and deeper, hoping to one day reach the spring of everlasting memory. Okay, next, outblanked. I write, but all that another sees is white, plain dull words that have no shape, lost without form, without depth. A gap, something missing, something gone. I write, but something is wrong. I write, but all that another hears is black, eloquence melodious in the highest lack, monotone boredom with great profuse, imperceptible, inaudible, words confuse. I write, but something is wrong. I write, but all that another feels is gray, no pain, no joy, no dismay. Numb to the flowing tide, no coolness, no warmth on the inside. Sorrow, despair, all fall by the wayside. I write, but something is wrong. I write, but all that another tastes is colorless, flavor and seasoning nothingness, saltiness, sourness, spiciness canned, twang, zing, and tang turn bland, piquancy and poignancy non-extant. I write, but something is wrong. I write, but all that another smells is brown, mud, dirt, and stinky renown. Sweet perfumed aromas pall, the rancidness and putridness appall. Sensory of the words smite. I write, but nothing is right. This is Ode to Turkey, Feather Fiesta. Fattened up, plucked of its feathers and its dignity, sent to the store, away to more better days. To be eaten, to be digested, such is the life of a turkey. Gobbling for clemency, wailing for saving. What's near and dear flies far and away. The feather fiesta, festering, decayed, denied, decomposed. Oh no, oh turkey, how short is thy life? But a day, a year, a decade? No, your succulent flesh is the impetus for butchering and carving, for slicing and dicing, for eating and indulging. My highest sympathy regarding thee. Okay, so that was fall 2013. Snowfall. Snowflake falling down and down, moving slowly round and round, gravity pushing and pulling, flinging the flake of snow earth-bound. Leisurely lowering, not fabricating the faintest sound. I wonder, will it reach me? Like an effulgent photon it floats, familiar to the breeze that blows. Its brethren mix on in. Snowflake falling down and down, moving slowly round and round, wind exhaling and inhaling, sending the flake of snow any which way, falling softly, not wishing to be found. I wonder, will it hit me? For there it floats, inches away. Its brethren disperse on now, snowflake falling down and down, moving slowly round and round. You have to stay hydrated during the summertime, you guys. Winter's end. Frigid air freezes everywhere. Cold nights come ice. Winter weather eternal, forever. Alas, the bone-chilling coldness fades with the seasons. The fiery inferno, the effulgent and luminescent, the sun. With the power of one, it melts me. With the power of one, it defeats me. With the power of one, I am done. Liquid tears drip from my snow face, falling fast across my carrot nose and my big black buttons. I sag sharply, like the face of old. The years run by me. I fear for my life. Valor vanishes, and the daunting dawn draws ever nearer. The ball of fire, the ball of doom. Oh, it comes too soon. My stick arms, my triple ball body, rendered useless. I am not fixed. I am not firm. No, I am but a snowman, and I've reached the end of my term. This is opposites. What is the opposite of music? The melodies and harmonies turn sour. The chords and measures resound. A discordant, strident sound. What is the opposite of music? Maybe it's a vacuum, devoid of sound, a lack of beauty, truth held back. What is the opposite of music? You would think it's deafening silence, but the lack of a person to hear it proves much more definite. What is the opposite of music? Maybe it is knowledge of the modern, the smarts that vice one with arrogance and pomp, to be blinded and stuck in an idiotic swamp. Synonyms. Synonym, same word, similar saying, identical idea, a mirror image matching in visage. Water, aqua, liquid fluidity, a stream that never stops, a raindrop. Popcorn. What is that familiar smell? The sweet and salty aroma, the warm and enticing persona, the popping, cracking, and snapping, the spinning, twirling, and whirling of a microwave craze galore pulls me in wanting more, more, more. Why, of course, it's the kettle-cooked popcorn shells. List. What's in the history book? Pages slip past my fingers. Actions and deeds gain life through my lips. Breaths of life, poisons of death. Civilizations cringing, blood flooding, empires rising, doom dawning, misery ecstasy, happiness reminiscence. A stain, heinous and with many a face. A sparkle, artful and with many a face. Hidden secrets, like that which lies at the end of a luminous deprived, distance-driven tunnel. Mysteries in the histories of races, of men, of dynasties, reigns, regimes, and monarchies. The famous and the infamous both dwell in its heart of hearts. That which is of number and of name, knowledge with wisdom, all neither the same. The tear in the page cuts me, drawing blood to the horrors which drink it. The explorers of a world, the founders of an age, the thinkers of a time, the leaders of a place. The rise, the fall, like the dynastic cycle of the Zhao. Followers made leaders, leaders made followers, peasantry and infantry, divisions and incursions. But I see beauty brush my fingers. Here and there, a decade, a century, a moment. Specks in the epochs of historical tragedy and misery, of patterns and tatters, of human nature at its worst, of the suffering God and his desperate thirst, for the specks to spread to all of humanity in the struggle to him insanity. Can you imagine seeing your children suffering, not able to end their wandering, longing to form relationships, none to kiss with your lips, enveloping agony for eternity, a parent's heart personally? Can you imagine sorrow so shocking it's sickening, children calling, beckoning, identity crises never ceasing, blinded without direction, chasing, desires of falsehood and wickedness, the hopes of all senseless, love of truest virtue, never capable of giving to? Can you imagine none to receive your heart, breathing but not living from the start, the heart of your heavenly parent, the one you cast aside and sent? I don't understand. I don't understand why school's a sham, how hunger has happened, what drives the avaricious, when someone can't mend, where it all began. But most of all, the eruption of corruption, the fog of ignorance, the drizzle of negativity, the wave of arrogance, the earthquake of enmity, the wildfire of seduction. What I understand most is the purpose of life, the promise of tomorrow, the power of loving, the hope after woe, the happiness after enduring, the healing after strife. That was winter 2014. Okay. Listen all around. The air has a sense of musicality. It blares with a tuba's charge. It vibrates with a harp's stampede. An opera of clouds, the soft silky touch, blankets the music kingdom, marching, moving with one accord. An element of harmony, it sings with the small and large, it stirs with a diversified speed. A need, an ardent instinct for the balance of life, the life of balance. It is the great wonder, a most wondrous thing indeed. A plucked string, a sound as such, a chorus-filled band, playing, parading with one concord. The want, the passionate desire, thus a discord of death, a death of discord, is the amazing fear, the most fearful thing indeed. Haiku. Flower, picturesque flower, blossoming color spectrum, a rainbow effect. Tree, brown trunk centers all. Thin branches soar through the sky. Roots dig deep below. Senryu, food for thought. Hurry and be swift. Leave the others in the dust. The lunch line scramble. Gold digger. I turn left and right. Is anyone watching me as I pick my nose? Tanka. Persevere, my dear. Glimmering beauty. Aurora borealis. Neon brilliance that guides our path along streams of iridescence supreme. Be at peace. Is it really demanding to find peace, calm, serenity? Must I wander paths unknown, or must I only follow the flow? Is it truly challenging to annihilate agony? Are the strings already sewn, or are hope and peace mine to bestow? Oh, is it cryptic chaos to unite my mind and body? Find me, O true instruction. Let me be in an embrace soft as snow. For through your iridescence, peace will rescue me from this path. That was spring 2014. Natural Doubt. The trees sheltering, this was published in Ursa Major also. Okay. The trees sheltering hands seem distant in time as you travel to faraway lands, searching for some sign. The wind's gentle touch now blows harshly against your weathered soul, such sorrow, sadness, torment without sense. The sun's welcoming warmth dissipates away, and what once was a loving hearth is now shadow stay. Yet nature's warmth, touch, and shelter will always reach towards you, closer and closer. What a life I have. He's a friend indeed, to smile just a bit brighter, to laugh not at but with others, to always be there, starting the next game. He's a brother, wouldn't you agree? A proton in a sea of electrons, a spark in an ocean of gray, a heart to rub with yours when the rains got you down. He did his best, playing the keys to reveal, running the track to feel, writing the story to see that his friends loved Eugene the same. Okay, so we're getting there. I also want to say, like, you can't this is all copyrighted. Like, these are my poems. Please don't plagiarize my poems. Like, you can use them to study and like learn how to do poetry. Like, I use these poems for my students, so it's on my website. But like, I also use these poems with my students to show you how to do poems. And then like, I have creative writing prompts, my own creative writing prompts that I have a resource with, and like you can try to learn poetry with me if you want to do wise and tutoring with English. So like, of course, we can look at some of my poems and we can look at other people's poems, some famous people's poems, and like we can look at poems and learn them, and other types of writing like short stories and essays and journal entries too. So you'll learn a lot if you want to do better with writing. Then there's a place for that. But like, this is just me sharing with you all and showing you all. Okay, so please just be respectful and be mindful of that. Okay. Right, sunset sphere. Like the sun, it draws the eye, with radiant shades of gold, gold so delicate in form, so intricate in depth, that it is eaten from peel to pit. Like the sun, it seems so high, light years away, and to hold such a thing, so stellar in style, so clever in thought, you need not ponder, just go in, eat. Like the sun, it does supply something special, and behold, like the sun, so wondrous in purpose, so generous in action, it gives to us all, every bit. And with that one, there's a picture of an orange. So if you didn't understand what that poem's about, it's about an orange. Descent of darkness, dust, dirt, and debris. These are all I see. This rickety house down the street from me. King proves to be ivy, a plant's poison plea. How could this happen? Who let this happen? Glimmers of beauty lost in the ugly. Catch my eye in spite, a time forgotten. Paintings and woodwork, the grand piano. Ruined they now lay, none is left, I say. And who is to blame for such a horror, when time has ended and when all has torn, when all has torn? When poison is cure and when you're not sure, that is when it falls, when darkness crawls. Tribunal, court is in session. A true verdict must be made, truth must shine through. Elemental harmony, fire shines and earth makes. Water rushes and air soars. The four elements. Forgotten, a time forgotten, where time and place lay, forgotten some day of days jubilant, where time where and forgotten some day of days jubilant, and where has it gone? To where does it go? I have forgotten. I can't remember. It lies somewhere deep, somewhere desolate. It rots, somewhere vile, somewhere villainous. The lost happiness, the forgotten bliss. Memory of this in the dark abyss, in the fading mist, and somewhere, sometime, someday I might know, I might recollect, that something special, that friends forgotten. Certainty of your doubt, of your indecision, and you really believe truly and actually that you have forgotten all the days hilarious and the jokes horrendous? Certainty of your doubt, of your indecision. And you really believe, seriously do you, that you have forgotten all the years sincere, and the laughs and tears? Certainty of your doubt, of your indecision. And you really believe, truly and actually, that you have forgotten all your friends, each and every one, including me. Supernova. An angular shape with gold-studded lace sits there forgotten, lays there neglected. Surrounded by blue, and showcased art too. A star silver bright dulls in a glass case. Yet a star is more. Yet a star is more. It is hopes and dreams, ignored, not adored, nothing but decor. A star past the air, like many up there, glistens and glimmers, in the night it beams. Just like a true friend, sincerely it gives, for you it does shine, the one stellar sign, of God's grace and love, of peace like the dove, of hope like the rain, thus for you it lives. And to disregard such a cosmic form, such a saintly shape, heaven's silver cape, would prove most sullen, sad, and crestfallen. When darkness descends, when sinister storms shadow all you know, the light still shines bright. When feeling sickens and reason weakens, and all tears apart, look back to the start, where hopes and dreams lay. The star at its height. I'm doing video. Okay. I think I might have messed up some grammar. Like, let me see. Live. Anyway. Tortoise. Time moves rather slowly. Seconds, minutes, and hours. From the rising of light to the falling of rain, to the swimming of fish and the flying of crane. Meditation you do, and contemplation too, for you are like Buddha in a piece of sutra. You have been perfumed by Zen gardens of flowers. Yet time moves rapidly, weeks, years, and centuries, from the whispers of wind to the shrieks of the night, to the aging of youth and the fading of sight. You experienced all, whether immense or small, whether melancholic or many a frolic. You have felt all of these mixed motley memories. So with skin of leather and with shell of iron, may you always weather and subsist as the sun. May you never dismiss, that you may reminisce, Tortoise's life of bliss, on all of these and this. Shift perspectives. Life wears many attires, events, places, and people. Attending festivals, funerals, and weddings. Meeting Alex in March, and nature as it sings. Sleeping and eating you do, and relaxation too. For you are like a sloth with beds and pillows both. You have forgotten time, that it is ephemeral. Yet life wears one outfit, delight filled and love willed, the raising of a babe to siblings fighting, from a couple laughing to seniors reminiscing. Life's dance completes its waltz, all moves not being false, all moves sincere and true, all moves of them and you. You have danced your very best, and life is now fulfilled. So with skin of human and with your hair of black, May you always know when and constantly look back. May you never forget that you may always let life's many silhouettes, love and joy's true duet. Just like the grammar thing, I think like when you say lay or lie, anyway, that is some grammar thing, but anyway, it's okay. One's friend. A friend may turn acquaintance. One's sardonic response, like the venomous viper, may well pierce through the flesh, ingrained in one's existence, as the wicked grim reaper. A friend may turn enemy. Circumstances altered and all alliances changed. Eyes locked at the distance, at a goal or destiny, letting one's friend be estranged. A friend may turn forever. Faulty acts magnified. Words tangled as the boas. Deeds twisted into lies, and then cut and sever. All loose ends and phobias. I'm doing video. Go away. And waves are crashing. When silence turns to noise as hearts become stone. When ice begins to crack as fires begin to rage. And death will want to reach each skull and each bone with the greatest finesse to act upon the stage. An echo will resound and a drop will ripple. As brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, peck and claw like crows, leaving all crippled, making vacant forests, making tainted waters. Nights are dawning and days are falling, and lights are fading and waves are crashing, and winds are rushing and fears are crawling, and eyes are watching and mouths are hushing. A pillar of cloud, a pillar of fire, to be led safely past man's desire. A bed of grass, a blanket of snow, to feel, to love, to heal, to know. What hope gives. What love instills, loneliness kills. What joy gathers, hatred severs. What trust creates, sadness takes, constant forever, over and over. And on this earth, on this land, here you are, here you stand, forgotten, hated, crying. A smile lost, a teardrop. Yet what hatred takes, love creates. What sadness severs, joy gathers. What loneliness kills, trust instills. In this way, this time, this day, no smile is lost, no tear dropped. That's also published in my high school. Once more, what is right may lose its sight, but what is true will continue. This time, this age, the hate, the rage. It's sickening, it's poisoning, the hearts, the minds, what lies inside. The purity, the sanity. To move forward, to go onward, and yet fall down again, again. But until then, no matter when, you may begin again, again. In Nature Grand, this is published in George Mason's literary Volition, George Mason's Literary and Arts Journal. In winter harsh and winter dark comes golden light on golden bark, a silent, subtle symphony of color in ecstasy. In spring renewed and spring refreshed, fall small petals on a small nest, a wilted withered agony from feathers to destiny. In summer heat and summer light, rain waters swift as waters flight, a bursting, blasting, great geyser of power like an amber fire. In autumn cool and autumn brisk, sprout flowers joy from flowers frisk, a swaying, twirling ballroom dance on wind's gentle, tender expanse. In nature full and nature grand, grow trees and plants across the land, with light and water on the ground, as the four seasons abound. A silhouette. This is published in George Mason's Literary and Arts Journal. A puddle of water collecting dust and dirt may now be a slaughter, a death of all my hurt. Faces fade one by one, a childhood friend from all the days of golden sun, in darkness as they fall, to seek with no response the forgotten faces, lost in the nonchalance of heart-to-heart traces. From my tears and my sweat, from the corner of my eye, appears a silhouette, an exchange of goodbye. This is memory. When music can't be heard, when passion fades away, when colors turn to gray, I'll always still love you, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, I'll follow to and fro. When autumn leaves fall down, I'll offer you my crown. Your heart so bright and pure, your smile I will adore. And in my heart I know, forever I will go. In times of agony, in times of apathy, head onward farther north, and in glory go forth. And in my memories, may you journey past seas of fire and of cloud, with your head fully bowed. Poetic prowess. Instantaneously to diverge on a path, simultaneously to converge on a road. And ever so slowly your heart engenders wrath, to the central pathway, to prophesy and forebode. instantaneously to pledge one's allegiance, simultaneously to take umbrage at flags, and ever so swiftly your mind upholds aegis, to the spiral staircase, to snag, to brag, to drag, simultaneously to become a true saint, instantaneously to become a divine son, and ever so calmly your spirit acquaints, to the sliced water's edge, from one to everyone. Kindness. The kindness people show is sure enough to go, up in flames, burned to ash, a crumpled piece of trash. The futures that they seek, in a day or a week, like whirling wisps of smoke, collapse from one swift stroke. The kindness people show is sure enough to go, and the smiles that they wear will fade into the air. So that's all from the first website. So then let me go to this one. Okay, so words that cannot be spoken. There are words that cannot be spoken. In silence, forever they will be unbroken. There are hearts that cannot be mended. Bonds of love, like ashes, will be ended. There are dreams that cannot be realized. After death, they will be very prized. There are roads that cannot be traveled. Knots that cannot be unraveled. There are names that cannot be recalled, forgotten. They will be memory hulled. There are lives that cannot be rescued. They will be silenced from the multitude. There are words that cannot be spoken. In silence, forever they will be unbroken. The luminescence of life. There's a heart that yearns for more than this. There's a life that seeks a greater bliss. It is deeper than the deepest ocean, filled with passion and emotion. The luminescence of life, lost in the frozen fields and frost, is far from grasp, far too distant, like the stars bright and brilliant. When wondering where or why, the very question becomes awry, and when considering each fact, it resembles either artifice or artifact. Upon further scrutiny and analysis of life's intellectual paralysis, the truth appears definitively. Minds must think inquisitively. The Rebirth of Love. This is published in my church through their poetry contest. On your father's back, dreaming of world peace, the hope of mankind as God had designed, the Garden of Eden to begin again, when all of nature cheers without cease. Yet it is us now who fall into your back, who cling to your legs, who scream and who beg. This earth has lost its shimmer, its shine, and glimmer, fading and falling into a heart of black. With teachings of love and of family, with projects of peace and of unity, you have sought to substantiate true love, coalesce true life, and commence true lineage. Confusion remains, and fear lurks about, yet forward we go and onward we march. Here with true mother we face true father. A happy birthday to you we do shout. And then this is one of my most recent poem, A Slave's Dream. A constant feeling of trepidation marks my steps in anticipation of a greater evil ahead, farther along this road, to where I'm being led, to where I've been sold. My master strikes me with his whip, as I had begun to slip, losing my footing, my place, amongst a train of slaves, similar to the Auschwitz Polish Jews' race, as they were buried into graves. I am the wind chime of subtlety, and the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania. I will not be classified under Geppetto-mania. We arrived at the plantation of some Jamestown company. I whisper a prayer to God, hoping that 400 years from now, in 2019, my descendants will rise from my ashes, slavery disavowed and disallowed. Okay. Thanks, you guys. So just leave your comments in the comment section of what you guys think. What was your favorite poem? What was your least favorite poem? Like, what did you like about this poetry reading? So yeah, I'll put timestamps. So I'll put timestamps so you can look at that, the timestamps. So hopefully this microphone could help a little bit to project my voice. I don't really have a strong voice. It's good to have the microphone. So, thanks you guys. I think I'll stop there.